Hey Virgo, March might be one of the most significant months of 2023, if not the most significant month. There is so much happening with the astrology. I highly recommend that you check out the astrology blog in the description below. There is a lot of focus for you specifically in your relationships, in your partnerships, even your contracts with people. You're getting very serious about the people you are committing to, the people you are spending the most time with. There's also some focus about routines and maybe changing the way that you are living your life. Maybe there's new emphasis on your health and wellness. We do also have the possibility of really going deeper and energetically exchanging resources or emotions later on in this month. There is this really deep thing about how you invest your energy into other people, and it's a very, very exciting month for you, Virgo. If you're excited for this month's reading, then definitely be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you can always stay up to date with what's in the cards for you. For those of you who are brand new to my channel, my name is Michael, and I utilize tarot and tropical astrology to intuit monthly forecasts for your zodiac sign. Now, March is such a pivotal month. I'm actually offering 20% off all of my services if you use the code PIVOTAL on my website. You can find links for personal readings and distance Reiki sessions in the description of this video, as well as links for the astrology blog and all of my other social media accounts. So as I am shuffling the deck for you, I do want to talk about this astrology. There really is a lot that is happening this month, Virgo. And I think a good place to start for you is actually your ruling planet, Mercury. We do have your ruling planet going into the sign of Pisces, and this is very much in line with Pisces season. This is your sister sign, your opposite sign, which is why there's so much focus on relationships, or one of the reasons why there's so much focus on relationships. And honestly, I feel like a lot of you have really been reflecting, looking at this Hermit card that is coming up here. Maybe you've really been thinking about what it is that you want out of relationships. Maybe you've been connecting with people and it's been having you rethink how you feel about relationships, maybe reassessing your beliefs or your attachment style. I do feel like you've really needed to take some time for yourself, and maybe even in the previous month, you've been very introverted. You've been very much focused on your routines with this Hermit card here. And so I feel like the energy has been kind of reflective. You know, it feels like there's been a lot of focus kind of behind the scenes for you, maybe getting things ready, maybe taking some time to yourself. But I feel like this month is going to be much more active, much more interactive, I should say, for you, Virgo. We do also have Venus coming together with Jupiter in Aries, and this is a beautiful, beautiful conjunction. Venus and Jupiter are both considered benefic planets. They give blessings. They are easy energies. And they are coming together in Aries the same day that Mercury goes into your ruling sign on March 2nd. And this could really be signifying some sort of change. There's something maybe with money coming in, especially from someplace else, whether that's an investment or even inheritance of some kind. Maybe there's something that is being settled and you are making some sort of sum of money. There could also be some form of sexual healing, because Aries energy for you, Virgo, represents the 8th house, which pertains to basically the way you exchange energy, whether that is energetic or emotional or even financial. It's kind of a large gambit for you, this Aries energy, this 8th house. But I really do feel like this is a very blessed time. We're starting off the month with a beautiful high note here. Now, things do get a little complicated. And I think especially towards the middle of the month, or at the end of the first week of March, we have a full moon in your sign. And this is actually the same day that Saturn enters into Pisces. Now, Saturn going into Pisces is really, really significant because Saturn is going to be there for 3 years. It's going to be in Pisces until 2026. And so during this time, there is this really strong emphasis and focus on relationships. I feel like a lot of you have been in this reflective energy, or maybe you've been opening yourself up to other people. Maybe you've been having some sort of healing experience or healing relationship. And honestly, I feel like even though Saturn can bring lessons, it can bring restriction, it can bring a lot of focus and intention in the sign it's in, it's not necessarily that relationships are going to fall apart. I really don't get that, especially with the astrology Virgo has been experiencing. It feels more like you are now coming into this period where you are committing to relationships, or there are commitments happening in relationships. Maybe someone's moving in. Maybe there is just, maybe you've been making space for a relationship. You've been manifesting something, and now something is coming in, and you're very serious about this. You're not playing games when it comes to partnership anymore. Not that Virgo really does that anyway. But I feel like a lot of you have been really attracting your soulmate. Maybe some of you already have done that. And now there is this focus on really developing that more. And that's going to be over the course of the next few years. And with the Six of Cups and the Knight of Wands, this is really, really interesting. I'm going to read the Six of Cups first. I'm actually kind of thinking of this full moon in Virgo, the same day, on March 7th, as almost like there is something that's happening for you in relationship, or something that is just coming up for you, the way other people perceive you or the way you relate to other people. And that's like having you second guess yourself. That's having you kind of shed an old version of yourself. And that is probably going to be involving some form of healing with the Six of Cups, especially inner child healing. You might be resolving things around attachment styles, or there could be things that are coming up, relationship trauma or wounds, that is really coming to the surface. But the Knight of Wands here is really, really fun and interesting to me, because it's like, when I see this card, when I see this Knight of Wands, it's like you're willing to risk injury in order to have fun, in order to experience life, to really develop skills, to develop relationships. That's how I see this, And I feel like maybe you've taken relationships so seriously. And I mean, you are going to be taking them seriously, but I think it's like, I feel like this collective is learning that in order to have the relationships you really want, you need to be vulnerable. You need to be willing to make those mistakes. You need to be willing to fall on your ass. And maybe that's been hard. Maybe that's been scary for you in the past, but I feel like you're becoming more open to that. What else do we have for Virgo? Wow. Okay, so we have the World with Temperance. We do also have the High Priestess. I'll get to this in a moment. But the World and Temperance are very interesting, because it's like there are new cycles, there are brand new beginnings, and honestly, March is such an important month. I talked a lot about this in the astrology blog. Again, I really recommend that people look at it, because we have Saturn moving into a new sign. We also have Pluto moving into a new sign. And Pluto is only going to be in Aquarius for 3 months. This is really about changing your life, changing kind of the rhythms of your life, if you will. And it's kind of like the next 3 months are giving us a snapshot of the next decade, 2 decades, really, because Pluto in 2024 is going to be entering Aquarius again once it's direct, and it's going to be there until 2043. So this is a huge cycle. This is a huge, huge turning point this month. And for you, it's all about finding balance. It's about strengthening the qualities in you that are positive with this Temperance card. And also, like, even in partnerships, like, you're finding each other's strengths, or you're connecting with someone. Maybe you're connecting, just opening up to the world. Okay? I feel like some of you have been going through this alchemy, this transmutation process, that maybe you've had to take some time away from people, or maybe you've been more focused on your intimate relationships, but now you're emerging from something. You're emerging from this transmutation process. And looking at the High Priestess here, you're really, really intuitive this month, Virgo. And March is really confusing, especially towards the middle of the month. We do have the Sun We have, what else is it? It's Neptune and Mercury, all really kind of competing with Mars in Gemini. And for some of you, you've really kind of been stuck in the motions. Just trying to get things done. It might have felt like, especially at work, like when you try to complete one task, there's suddenly 3 more tasks. That should actually be resolving. You're clarifying things, you're refining things, you've been refining things, and now you're coming into a more intuitive energy. But it's been very confusing, it's been very disorienting. And I feel like some of you, honestly, I'm getting the sense like you're not really sure how you're coming across to other people. Or there's something about you feeling misrepresented or misunderstood that's coming up quite a bit, actually. But I do feel like you are resolving these issues. And even in this sort of confusing energy, it's really important that you take the time to meditate, to connect with your intuition, especially with the Hermit also here on the table as well. I feel like a lot of you are also, some of you could be looking at energy healing, maybe learning to do energy healing yourself or committing to some sort of practice with the Temperance card here. I also feel like the way your daily life feels is going to change a lot. Your routines, your rhythms. And it's really important to create a life that is compatible with you and what you want and what you're trying to manifest. I feel like you are just very, very aware of things that are beneath the surface for people. And when Mercury, your ruling planet, moves out of Pisces and into Aries on the 19th, I think this is when things are going to really start to clarify for you. And more as we get into Aries season, things are becoming clearer. You're becoming more aware of other people's motivations and intentions and your own intentions and kind of how you gel together with other people. So pay attention to your intuition. What else do we have for Virgo? We have the 3 of Cups. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of other people's energies and maybe even coming together. Or doing something intentional together. And the 8 of Cups, interesting. When Mars is going into Cancer at the end of this month, on the 25th, there really is this shift in your life. Especially since the end of August. It's been like you've been kind of caught on the motions. I was talking about that a bit ago. When Mars enters into Cancer around the 25th, you're being a lot more selective with the groups of people you are connecting with, and you could be walking away from certain people or certain organizations or different groups of people, or even social media. And I think that's part of this increase in sensitivity, actually. You're dialing into your intuition more. Yeah, the Ace of Cups. You are becoming more intuitive. And I do feel like there are new beginnings with the heart, new emotions. There are new relationships. I feel like there's just a lot of changes happening in your relationships. And honestly, Virgo, it feels like that's all kind of in the wake of some sort of personal transformation or some sort of perspective shift that you experienced. And it's almost like you've been afraid to admit things to yourself. You've been afraid to name things because if you do, in some way, it almost makes you less compatible with certain people. Tell me about love specifically. What's going on in romantic relationships? We have Judgment. And I think that's really perfect with Saturn entering into Pisces this month and really, again, going to be there till 2026. The people you are closest to, it's like there's this sort of make or break moment. And I don't want you to be afraid of this, Virgo. I feel like I was talking about with friends and other groups of people how you might have been afraid to identify patterns or state your needs that might also come up in relationships. And now it's like you're getting more realistic about relationships. There's kind of this sobering influence, but it's not bad. You're just taking things to the next level. And part of that vulnerability is maybe that other person, that other party, isn't going to be able to meet those needs. But you're kind of putting your hand on the table. And you're this Empress. You are embodying yourself. And this Empress is actually just a beautiful omen for love. I just got to say it because the Empress is Venus energy. I feel like a lot of you are healing your sexuality or coming more into your sexuality. And I think that's especially going to be true as we are coming into Aries season. Venus is in Aries. I think Jupiter and Venus in Aries together at the beginning of this month is bringing like this sexual healing. Whether that's literal or just like how you think about intimacy and how you embody yourself, how you embody your needs. Whether that is sexual, emotional, whatever it is. You're ready to get your own needs met too. And you're not a burden. I just heard burden. Like you're coming out of this period of your life. You're coming into relationships that are more stable, or you're desiring relationships that are more stable. And you shouldn't feel like a burden. Because if relationships are healthy, people want to help meet your needs. They want to make you happy or help make you happy. There is the Death card. So that's interesting. It really is kind of a mixed bag. Some of you could be ending relationships. I am specifically getting this for romantic relationships, although this could be a close friend or some sort of partner or colleague. Someone you invest energy in or with. Could also be Scorpio energy. It's interesting how we have Scorpio energy and then the Empress, which can be Taurus energy. There's something with this axis here that's coming up. And we are going to be having eclipses in those signs this year as well. And for you, Virgo, that's really bringing in some changes with how you communicate and how you understand things. Scorpio energy represents your third house of your conscious mind communication. Taurus represents the astrological ninth house for you, which is higher wisdom, philosophy, foreign travel. There is a perspective shift. I was talking about that, and I feel like that's kind of an overall theme for this year for you, Virgo. But something's changing. You're putting an end to something, and if that's not a relationship, that's an old cycle, that's an old pattern, that's an old belief system, especially if relationships have been a place where you don't feel like you're enough or you are unworthy or undeserving. That's coming to an end, Virgo. And that feels really, really important. What else do we have? Anything else for Virgo? I think I'll pull for finance or career. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Love to see that. You are building an empire. Nurturing things. Nurturing some source of stability. Wow. 7 of Pentacles with the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, you are really hard at work. I felt that. I felt like you were kind of in the motions. You've really been focused on something, and I feel like you will start to see the fruits of your labor this month. I do feel like there is more to go. There is more growth to be had financially or in your career, but you are getting there. And I feel like a lot of you are starting to see signs of that. And especially if you've made some sort of investment, I feel like at the beginning of March, you're really going to be seeing something fruiting there for you, which is really, really exciting. I do feel like with Pluto entering into Aquarius, you are becoming very powerful when you commit to routines, Virgo. And if you've already been working on something, if you've already been dedicated to something, I do feel like you are building up energy here. Two of Swords. Something isn't quite ready yet. I feel like you're still in the planning stage, or you're like waiting to execute the next stage of something financially or in your career. You're meditating on something. And I feel like there's just sort of this message of patience. I feel like you're having some sort of growth this month, but it's like it's only a sign of the things to come. I also feel like some of you could even be like planning travel. I'm kind of getting that with Venus entering into Taurus. And Venus will actually be joining Uranus in Taurus, I believe, right at the end of the month, around the 30th. Yeah, 9 of Pentacles. Your abundance is building. I feel like there's something you are saving up for. I feel like you will realize it. You will achieve it. There are signs of growth and progress this month. But I feel like for the most of you, it's like this is still something that's kind of further down the road. You're thinking about investing in something, or you want to buy something. But something is definitely growing. There's definitely an abundance here. I think I'm going to finish off with an animal card for you, Virgo. What are the animal messages for Virgo? Whoa, too many. Okay. Calm down. What are the animal messages for Virgo? Wow, so we have the whale and the sea serpent. So the sea serpent is really interesting. This represents the second or sacral chakra, Svadhisthana, which translates as in her own abode. And this feels very much like this Empress energy. You are becoming very embodied and very comfortable in your body, or you're building a better relationship with your body and your emotions as well, especially looking at whale energy here. There could be emotions that are coming to the surface, and you are healing them. And I feel like you are hard at work with something, Virgo, but it's important that you come up for air with the whale card as well, because even though whales are very at home in the element of water, they do need to come up for air. They do need to take care of themselves in that way. So I feel like there is something with self-care here too. And I did kind of get this with the 9 of Pentacles. Even though you're saving for something, like, don't be afraid to spend on yourself a little bit. Don't be afraid to take care of yourself or to be kind to yourself. I feel like with the new moon in Aries on the 21st, you could be thinking of a long-term financial plan. And maybe that's why all of this energy is coming up. But it's also like bringing a lot of healing. This new moon in Aries is helping you heal very deep emotions or wounds. And I really do get the sense with this collective, like, a lot of you are caretakers, a lot of you put other people first, and now you're learning to put yourself first, or at least to take care of yourself more. And I feel like you're healing any imbalances in the sacral chakra, or that's a really good focus for this month as well, because the sacral chakra talks about emotional expression. It talks about intimacy, especially physical intimacy with other people, but also emotional intimacy. And I feel like there's something you are creating as well. I'm getting the sense some of you have been having blocked manifestations because of an imbalance in your sacral chakra. You don't believe that you deserve the finer things. You don't believe that you deserve to be comfortable or feeling secure in your body. Maybe there's a lot of trauma that is stored in your body, and so it's uncomfortable for you to sit in yourself in this way. But there is healing here. And it feels like it's making you more abundant. It's bringing in more relationships. It's actually all very tied in. Everything I've talked about, it feels very interconnected. And it feels very connected to your sacral chakra. So definitely let me know in the comment section down below how this is connecting, what you're sensing with your sacral chakra, what you're working on, what you're planning towards, and also what limiting beliefs are you letting go of, especially relative to your relationships? That feels really, really important to me too. Anyways, Virgo, those are all the messages I have for you this month. Definitely be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you're always up to date with what's in the cards for you. Again, I am running a sale on my website. You can get 20% off all readings and distance Reiki sessions. Maybe we can heal that sacral chakra or work on that sacral chakra if you're feeling an imbalance there. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Virgo.